Maybe that's why Hollywood's struggling with movies, because there's so much good content of documentaries and TV shows out there.
It's a ton of weirdos, dude.
Any good movies lately?
Ooh.
Let's see.
I watched that one with Tom Hanks. So that one was pretty good. It's a bit depressing.
Otto?
Otto, yeah, it was
I hadn't
alright.
seen it. I watched 80 for Brady last night with the kids.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Was it?
It's
I
freaking.
haven't seen that one.
I mean, like, why am I watching
Tom
this?
Brady
You
and
got
the old
Sally
ladies?
Field and
Was Tom Brady in the movie?
He was, and he was in there like
Gronk's in there. I saw Gronk in the
like
shorts.
there's I don't think Gronk even played in that Super Bowl. It was the Atlanta choke job.
28-3.
28-3,
Yeah, it made me wonder like how many movie crews are following certain sport teams around to go through their World Series and be like, hey, we had these actors that were kind of saw this as a cool story. All right, welcome back to another episode of Straight Down the Middle-ish. We are live. Can you get a mic check on that?
Hello.
Wow, listen to that. We got Scott Toole joining us today. Welcome to the casting couch. And what episode are we
Hold
on? 17, 18?
If it's a casting couch, I don't want to be on it.
What do you mean? That's your couch.
There's been a lot of dogs take naps on that couch in the day.
Yeah, we thought we'd get Scott on. He's taking a break from busy orders.
Scott is the brains,
The
brains and the muscle behind LFG.
He is the machine, an absolute workhorse.
Co-operations.
That's right.
Somebody's got to do the grunt work.
And former third baseman for your Florida State Seminoles.
Shortstop.
Shortstop, my bad.
I mean, I started at third quite a few games.
That's
but
what. Yeah.
started at short, third, second, first, left, and right field.
How many times did you go to Omaha?
0.
0
It
times.
was 1 game away, 2 years.
Jeez.
Lost to Notre Dame my senior year as the number 1 overall seed.
Oh.
Hosted the Super Regional
What year was that?
2002.
Okay.
21
Brutal.
years ago.
Glory days.
Isn't that crazy how long ago that was?
I know, and it flies by, and now you're the one, doing the coaching and getting in the
Gotta be
arguments
honest.
with umpires.
Makes me fucking sick. That was 21 years ago.
I know, right?
right. And Florida State missed their first just postseason in baseball for the first time in 45 years this year. So it's
By the coach.
Wait.
That one stings.
That's
that
a
one
hell of a
stings
run.
the
Wait,
alumni.
this year right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even make it to the ACC
No.
tournament?
Losing record.
Oh, wow. The Gators are loaded this year.
It's been a
Are they?
I'm going to take Liam over there. SEC tournaments this week in Birmingham, but we're not going there. But when they get over to Gainesville for the
They host a
regionals
regional.
and super regionals.
You can paint me a
They're
Birmingham.
apparently Florida's new baseball stadium is pretty sick.
Yeah. I mean, gotta invest some resources into baseball in Florida. I mean, they've won a couple titles or won recently, I believe.
Yeah,
Sullivan.
whatever. Let's talk about golf.
Yeah.
So we're back after like a 2 or 3 week hiatus.
It's been a mess here at LFG. I've been doing TV. Aaron's been doing realtor porn.
Playing golf.
And
golf
playing
trips.
golf. Yeah. Well, how many have you ticked off this year? Like top 100 courses?
I don't know, but I got 4 in like the top 25 in 2 weeks. The Bakers Bay, remember, guess I think we spoke about that last time. Then 6 rounds in 5 days in Chicago, came back and then tied my US Open qualifier into Marion, and then National Golf Links.
How long?
West Hampton.
How long did it take you to map out this kind of
Doc,
trip?
Doc Redman asked me to go to Tree Farm this past weekend. I couldn't go.
That's the top 20.
Poor
That's the
thing.
top 100 course.
Tree Farm, no, but it's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many have I done?
No.
I don't know.
How long did it take you to map out this trip? I mean,
The Chicago one 6 months ago, and
Yeah.
then when I signed up for the same day you did, the last day that you could sign up for the US Open locals, there was like 3 left. Matt took the Rochester one. I took the Scranton, Pennsylvania, which was a good course, by the way, Huntsville.
Ooh.
And I did 3-putt the last from 18 feet to miss.
yeah, I heard
But,
you were pretty close.
And then I just started thinking about who's a member where. Tug Maud is a member at Marion, so I reached out, and Marion is freaking insane, by the way. And those courses out east, I know I knew enough friends of friends before Memorial Day. You can go unaccompanied.
Did you get like a full experience at Marion? Get to eat dinner there and go down and see the collection of memorabilia they have?
Tug. There's about that clubhouse is a composite of like 40 rooms. It's
Really?
It's all these tiny rooms.
Yeah, I got a little trophy room pamphlet. I mean, where it's the same course where Bobby
Yeah.
Jones closed out his Grand Slam.
Got all the
that's
Tug was the best host. Taught me
chills.
all that. And Justin Rose is a full paying member there. They offered
Okay.
him honor, and he goes, "Nah, I'll pay."
Yeah.
So Tug was the best host, and we played with Trey Marucci and Sam, a good buddy of mine. So had an amazing day. Course was in great shape. They just played like the member or something. It was an awesome experience.
Yeah.
Marion is great.
Matty, what about your local qualifying
I gassed.
exploits?
I gassed the U.S. Amateur at Marion, whatever year that was. I
Molinari.
should have fucking won. Lost to him.
The other Molinari.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Eduardo.
oh yeah, I forgot. That was Marion. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
final 8. It was just fucking nuts.
That course is so good.
Long story, but
Let's
I
hear
can, I can. All right, then we'll get into. What were you asking me?
I was seeing how you did in
US
local,
Open.
but
No, I
you didn't go to
missed.
sectional.
Yeah.
So
Wrong spikes.
Brought tennis shoes up there, and it was wet and
Bent.
Yes,
you're playing New York in May.
that just sounds like an excuse. It probably is.
Back to Marion.
Back to
Hold
Marion.
on. Back to US Open this year. So I 3-putted, had 18 foot. I thought I had to hold it, so I ran it by, pulled it, wicked putt as usual. So then there's a playoff for the first alternate. There was 5 of us. I was like, this is worth getting because first alternates always
Yeah.
get in.
Yeah.
Well, I ended up getting second alternate out of the 5 in the playoff. But they just sent a letter. If I don't know, Keegan Bradley, who's bad because he's already in, if someone who's 75th in the world goes to do the Monday and they pull out, we can't replace them anymore. I think it's a new rule. I can only replace a local qualifier. So
Oh.
I ain't getting in. First alternate ain't getting. No local qualifiers not turning up.
You got to
That's
be on
brand new.
site.
All the tour players are the ones that don't turn up. If they've had a tough week in Canada or whatever, sometimes taking the US Open is not a bad option. Crazy enough, but
Yeah, I know quite a
Something
few
with-
tour players
Yeah.
that aren't even trying to qualify for it.
yeah,
Wow.
Chris Kirk would skip it a lot. Like that's
a
just
long
something
week.
that people
Yeah.
don't understand. It's a forced week off sometimes is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're probably, coming off of another tournament. You got to hop in a plane or drive somewhere and go do a 36-holer where you've got some hungry guys that are actually wanting to play in it.
So Marion, real quick, and then we'll get into other shit.
Yeah.
I was playing Eduardo Molinari, final 8.
The Elite 8.
I'm peaking in college. Like good things are happening
Yeah.
for me.
On-
I just finished low amateur at US Open, and
Peaking on and off the course.
It's the summer of Matt.
Yeah.
The summer of Matt,
it
2005.
was, and I get this guy Eduardo Molinari. I'm 2 up with 4 to go. I lose 15 and 16. 17, I hit it pretty close. I hit it like 5-6 feet. I ended up not having to putt it. He made bogey. Some 1 up going in 18. We both hit it over the green. Both chip up. He chips like 10 feet. I chip like 6 feet. He makes, I miss. Okay, extra holes.
Mhm.
Go to the first hole. Match in front of us, we're playing the winner of, and it is the 6th guy on Bama's team. This guy, his name was Matthew Swan, and we played a ton of tournaments with Bama. This guy ain't beat me. Like, he's never beat me in his life. I'm going to beat him the second we step on the tee. And he's playing the number 1 amateur in the world, Michael Sim. And they're in extra holes as well. And we're in the fairway, and I watch Matthew Swan beat Michael Sim.
Wow.
And I'm like, here we go. I'm going to the Masters.
Going to Augusta.
Here we go, baby.
Matthew
So-
Swan. Like I haven't even heard of that guy.
Yeah, well, he was like a 5 or 6 guy in Bama for a couple years.
Roll Tide.
So he hits it he hit a bad wedge, like 40 feet long right. Pin was front left.
That's an interesting playoff hole, number 1. That's a shorty right there.
Yeah. I hit it like 10 feet right behind it. He runs it like 8 feet by. I high side lip mine, borderline gimme, like 2.5 feet. He makes his 8-footer. I miss. I lose. He goes on to win. I mean,
That's match play right
yeah.
there.
Yeah. And every time
That's
I've seen him since, which is quite a bit, we see each other, just through playing.
Yeah.
We always smile and hug, and we'll bring it up. I'll be like, dude, unbelievable. I kind of fucking gave it to him, but whatever.
I thought I had a bad one with Ryan Moore, but I think that trumps it.
There's not a lot of brothers out there that have, really had a lot of success. And the Molinaris are definitely a pair of brothers that have.
Those European kids are going to, the Hogarth twins.
Yep. And then the Paul, one of them just played in the PGA and one's playing on the Korn Ferry. Paul?
I don't know them.
Really?
There you go.
Come on, dude.
I've been on golf trips. I've been doing real estate.
How do I know more than you about this?
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. I'll look it up though.
Somebody just qualified for the Open though, and they're doing it the hard way. Sergio Garcia went through a sectional and shot a pair of 66s. That's pretty respectable. I love that he had to go through the Open process and stamped his card.
I love that he did it because
LA.
I'm not going to be shy. I like Sergio, but I think he would be honest too. He can be a bitch, and that was pretty cool that he did it. I think his 24th straight U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's fucking insane.
That's impressive.
Oh my god.
24 doesn't it? Is it? I could have that wrong. How
That
old
is
is
so
he?
impressive.
You're right. You're dead on.
That's right.
He's been at it since '99.
18.
Jesus.
Yeah. How did he
24 was
qualify?
42.
He's still a young man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few years older than
but
us.
like he's fit and that's insane.
Yeah.
But
there was a couple other. I mean,
Graham McDowell missed by one too.
Did he?
Yeah,
he
he
went
was
through it as
he was
well.
at the same qualifier. So good to see these guys. That look, I feel like all of us here aren't on a side, but they're grinding it out, trying to get into the majors.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very friendly vibe at the PGA last week.
Yeah, Matt, you were there
Between
actually doing
That's right.
work.
Live guys and PGA guys.
You're up there being golden tonsils.
Yeah, sure. Something like that.
That's what they're calling you now, golden tonsils. Any good lines from the PGA?
Oh, God, not really.
Bullshit.
No.
Oh, you were great on the ones that I was watching.
I did. Yeah. I did. I'll tell you, it was slammed out there.
I feel like every
There's
segment,
New York. There's
every 1 or 2 hour segments, you float one in there.
Yeah. There's so I will say I did have a good one. The first day there was a frost delay and it was nice out. It was just there was frost on the ground.
Yeah.
And so they were holding the galleries back from coming in, and finally when they let everyone in, it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock. It's warmed up. These guys are crowd's raring to go, and it's bunched big time because groups are just teeing off. So like we get on. I had Cam and Rom's group, and we're on behind 10 green near 11 tee box. And this kid sees me wearing the ESPN thing, and he goes, "Hey, is Wesley Bryan here this week?" And I go,
I'm him.
and he was in the group in front of me, covering the group in front of me. And I go, "Yeah, he's up there." And he asked me again, and I was like, "Yeah, he's up there." And he goes, "Oh," he goes, "I love Wesley. He's so sick with the wedge, blah, blah, blah. He's my favorite tour player." And it's quiet. Like there's no groups around, and these people are listening to all this going on. And it was my best line of the week, to be honest. I just told him, I go, "Bud, you need to get out more."
I never knew Wesley Bryan was such a
dude.
sensation.
He is. I walked through
A lot of influence.
I walked through Atlanta airport with him, and he got noticed like 2 or 3 times.
No way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This YouTube is a thing.
Yeah.
Us old timers need to get onto the YouTube. The YouTube. But how was it up there? Like, for people that don't know, like I don't know how experienced you are. There's a reason why you can't play in have you ever played on frosty greens?
Yeah.
Is the ball will bounce 20 feet in the air. It's
Yeah.
like it hits a road.
Terra
Well,
firma. It just
it's
becomes
freaking
so firm.
Insane.
I think
I guess
it also
one year
kills the grass.
10 at Phoenix, they started like maybe 20 minutes too early, and those wedges just bouncing up into the grandstands. So yeah, it's
That's every year in Phoenix.
Absolutely
in the
cannot
morning.
play.
Yeah, no, I think they don't. It also has to do with killing the grass. I think that's everything.
It's kind of it was a wild situation calendar-wise for the PGA. I mean, kind of an anomaly having that thing up in New York this year. And well, I don't know where they go next year, but probably some more warmer climates. But
Yeah, the next 3 years is south. I saw they were going to have one at Frisco in 3 years. That's the PGA, like
The senior PGA is
Frisco,
there
yeah.
this week
there you go.
at the new Frisco course in Dallas.
oh, okay, that's the new headquarters of the
PGA.
PGA of America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Where wasn't it at Point
Port St. Lucie.
Port St. Lucie.
Yeah, it was down there somewhere, I think.
Yeah.
It was cool up there though, man. The New York majors, they get a great crowd. It's like a West Coast U.S. Open and a New York major.
Yeah,
there is something about the Northeast, Chicago, the golf. It's insane.
Oh, what a course, dude! That place was
Oak Hill's a beast.
looked like it was out of a video
It
game.
looked like a long walk.
That's the hardest
what was
course.
that like?
Yeah, that walk
played.
was a bitch, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's pretty hilly. And I'm in the rough with tennis shoes on, slick as shit.
Any near slips
Any
or
stumbles?
No stumbles. No, but you had to watch out for other people stumbling, taking you out.
Yeah.
What about like John McGuinness? He was up there. Like
Dude, Johnny-
he could stumble.
He could, yeah. It was a tough walk. It was a tough walk last week. There wasn't any, I had I don't know what you would call him, a spotter or an assistant, and they have a cart, but there's nowhere to go out there. Like, there's too many people. Never saw him, so I was on foot all day, but I liked it. I had a good time. Saw a bunch of buddies.
It's different from a tour event where you have carts just zooming past.
That is the worst part of tour events. That's something
Too
that
many
people don't
carts.
understand too. Like if you're actually become aware of it, all you see is hospitality. Like, there's no way around it.
Yeah.
But I think they could cull 30%. There's people getting
Certain
carts that
weeks
shouldn't
there
have
were-
carts.
Yeah,
It's a
certain
joke.
weeks. The people that are excited to have golf carts should not have golf carts.
Yeah, they need to like have a
Yes.
vetting process for the hospitality, like who
Like,
gets
God
the car.
damn it! If this
Hey,
is the
Have you played more than 6
this
rounds
is
a year?
if this is the highlight of your day is driving this golf cart, you're fucking out.
No, but I'm serious. Like with the logistics and all the corporate hospitality, if you haven't been on a golf course more than 6 times a year for the last 10 years, you don't get the cart.
Yeah.
You have to actually have a fucking clue.
Certain weeks are worse than others too, because some weeks it's all like dirt and gravel paths.
Oh, dust everywhere.
Well, it's just noise too. It's
Yeah.
way louder. Yeah.
Hit
like
that thing,
hit
put it in
Hilton Head.
reverse, and it starts.
You just notice. You just notice them more. Really,
All right, so Brooks won.
is what it is.
Brooks was the story.
The bruiser,
Uh,
Michael Block.
Michael Block.
Yeah, how did
Michael
the
Block
crowds,
is
Look, they're overplaying a little,
A
slightly,
little
but
bit.
not really because it's
he's hell of a week for sure. But
It's an
he is
amazing
not
feat.
like he is. It's not like Jason from Atlantic Beach Country Club going to or whoever going to play in the PGA and finish from 15th. This dude's played a ton of tour events. Played more.
24.
Has he played? I think he's played
Wow.
more majors than I have.
Yeah, I think he's played 5 at least.
PGAs.
He's played 1 US Open.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe more, but he's played 24 tour events. He'd made like 4 cuts, and he's a teaching pro. He wins the California section.
I think
a
I
lot.
played with him in
so
a
I think
tour
he's
event
very
before.
good.
No way.
He played. He won the whole thing 1 year because he must have played 6 times. He must have been the club pro exemption.
But I still think he's the story this week.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
pretty badass. Regardless
15th?
of his ability to finish 15th at 46 years old.
That's it, 46. That's
Yes.
the selling point.
46
for me
for me
But
is
15th is
too.
not 55th. It's 15th.
50, I
It's
know.
like, it's like just to, not to Captain Obvious, but it gets exponentially harder. He beat Rahm, beat all these guys. Like, it's 1 week. But if you said at the start of the week, could this guy finish 15th, I would put every single cent I own and my neighbour's money that no chance he can finish top 30. He finished 15th. Like
This isn't enough. I need some of yours too.
even the up and down the last.
Oh, dude,
no
dude,
chance.
up
Lands
and
it
down
in
in the
rough.
last
So good.
might have been better than the fucking hole in one.
And then the
That's
putt
so ridiculous.
drips over the lip. It's like you deserve everything you get.
Yeah.
You could make 7 on where he was.
You could spontaneously combust after that and just.
So
boom.
he's got 288 grand up. He's got an exemptions, and this week Canada. We'll
He'll get
see.
more.
I don't know if he's going to be able to continue on, but
I bet you get some. If he plays decent in
maximum
one of
7.
those, he'll get it. He'll get
There's
more.
got to be some sponsors
He'll get-
foaming at that.
he
It's
gets
just-
maximum. That's the rule. You get maximum of 7. Then you have to be at the 150th from last year. Then you can get as many as you
And
want.
he's got a kid that is a good player too, and is in the sectionals for U.S. Open.
What a
qualifying.
story.
They both are.
Wow.
What a story. I got a quick story on his hole in one. So CBS is not showing Block really much at all. And
Whiff.
we're doing terrible move. We're doing a reno in the house, and I don't have a TV downstairs, so I'm watching Maddie on the stream on ESPN Plus, and I wanted to click to the main coverage, but they didn't have it on the app. So I'm like, oh, all right, I'll watch Block and Rory. So I'm watching Block and Rory, completely by myself for about 13, 14 holes. wife comes home from the grocery store and is like, hey, can you come help me? It's starting to rain. And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. I go to the car, bring all the groceries back in, and my son's going nuts. He's like, you just missed it. You just flew it in for a hole in one. They didn't even show that shot live on the coverage.
No, it is tough. I'm not going to defend him, but it is tough.
But they teed up Nance, and just the way he came in was so Nancy with the I don't know, the miracle continues, and like he holes one out. Come on, you got to dress that up a little bit better than that, Jim.
Yeah, well, just showing it delayed sucked.
Yeah,
I don't know how you whiff on that.
It had to be weird for
short par 3 with the story of the week is coming.
Yeah, but
through.
you don't know he's going to hold. I'm going another way. You don't know he's going to hold that. You're not going to watch every shot he hits live. You've got Koepka, you've got other guys, Victor Hovland,
but he was playing well all day, and they didn't show him right until then. It was wild.
Yeah, no, it was.
If you were watching the featured groups, you would have seen it.
ESPN
I love
Plus.
those featured groups.
Hey, sometimes they're better.
Go and subscribe, folks.
Matty, does Rom not want you to follow his groups anymore? That was
know,
brutal.
Dude, I don't know if he got alphaed, if there was just like I don't know.
Yeah.
He saw me inside the ropes. What the deal was? No, I'm kidding.
He took out a microphone. That was amazing.
He was going after those boom mics. They put those in the wrong spots, dude.
It looked like
you can't put them when you walk off the green and expect these guys not just to fucking tee off on.
That is not his first boom mic, by the way.
Anyone, when that rage takes over and you're walking off, is thinking, "Oh, this is going to cost me $1,000." They don't give a shit.
It was premeditated murder on that mic.
This comes back to your suggestion of the punching bag.
It does. You need a punching bag off of every green.
Not a speed bag, like a full punching bag.
Yeah, you can karate kick if you want. I mean,
we saw one attached to the back of a cart at Southampton this past weekend. It was the bogey bag. And
I saw that, dude. I saw it at the PGA show.
Did you? Why do you tell us? I need a bogey bag, double bogey bag. Driver yip bag.
It's real easy. Instead, the hole signs can actually be the punching bags. Like,
but that's the thing. Another thing we talked about previously too is like, you know, PGA Tour has to like be like not, you know, you hear the dead air. People are like, oh, you know, why does it always go dead? Well, that's because someone's dropping an F-bomb. Rahm is the man,
dude.
Hold on a sec. The last putt he missed on 18 to finish 5 over, he finished 6 over. Like CBS doesn't really bleep him out. Was the loudest F-bomb for no reason.
Talking about Thursday?
No, Sunday. Go back and watch Rahm putt out on Sunday.
So I had Rahm Thursday and Saturday, and
it's every second word.
It really is, dude.
And
it's
I'm here
unbelievable,
for
it. And it is.
It's raw.
I think it's part of his like arsenal, though, is this kind of self-talk. You know, a lot of guys do it where it's never their fault, and it works for him. I mean, this guy complained about water balls, dude. Like off the tee 6 times in one round. Cam never once, and we hear everything because those mics I'm hearing. It's not cutting off in my ear. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, you can hear the boom. You're hearing squirrels fart.
Yeah. So it is nuts though how.
That's good.
Man, like.
So you.
I just don't think it's going away. This is the same Rahm that was like when he came on the scene. It's just he's a better golfer now.
He is
like the whole like
an absolute
I've
animal,
toned it in.
But,
it's like I don't know about that, dude.
He's passionate.
You know, you're just
Spanish.
You're just gotten really good at golf. really, really, really good.
Adam Hayes has just got to be like, yeah, man, yep. He's a great dude. I love Adam. That's a tough job, but you're freaking hell.
And he's not. Look, dude, he's not alone either. Like Homo is at least going after his equipment. Like he was beating his bag and stuff like that. Guys get pissed off out there. I mean, it's just part of it. You're playing for a lot of money.
When you're playing a fucking
and you're getting your shit stomped in. Yeah.
They're not used to like making like bogeys, then par, then fucking double bogeys.
It felt like it was going to be
it's a blow to the ego. I think that's where it happens. They start.
That tournament felt like it was going to be 2 4-under winning after the first 2 days.
If it didn't rain Saturday, the weather just.
I think they got the perfect score. They don't want to be the US Open. That would be a mistake.
I agree.
If it didn't rain, it would have been like one guy under par.
9 under. What about when I think through 9 holes it was 7-6, and they asked Trevor Illman, "What do you think is going to win?" And he goes, "I think 9 under." And I was like, "This guy's high. I thought like 7 under would win. Well, Koepka got to 10. So it's crazy.
He finished at 10?
No, he bogeyed 17, finished at 9.
5 majors for Bruce.
I mean, just freaking impressive, dude.
The guy's the modern day Tiger Woods in majors. It's in one aspect, hold on a sec, that you doubt him. Like Tiger, no, he's just not going to, can't win this one or whatever. Like, wow. No, he's like 3 back with 9 to go. Just wins.
I love it.
He's proven that when he is healthy, though, he is one of the best to ever do it.
Modern day, arguably the best.
That's good. I mean, I saw
post Tiger.
He's got more than Rory now, the most of any golfer since 2010. He's creeping up on some rare air, and he's ranked 44th in the world now.
44th. Well, he might jump a few after this week.
Not to go off tangent here, but it does show the vulnerability of humans in golf. Like, you have a bad run for 3 or 4 months, you think Matt's been like, I don't play golf anymore, but you think that I'm never coming back, and then Stricker comes back. Baker Finch doesn't come back.
Talent doesn't leave.
It doesn't leave, but it's amazing where your mind goes when you're not playing well. Now, I don't give a shit. I'm telling you, Brooks Koepka was probably thinking am I going to continue to play golf if I'm playing like this? And there's the other thing that you don't want to play if you're not playing as well as you can. It's frustrating. It fucking makes you not sleep. So, talk about, he's your first win you're never going to forget, but that one had to be wow. You could see it from the Netflix series. Like, that guy was extremely vulnerable, maybe bordering on insecure, and then comes back and just loses the Masters, and then says Saturday to Balionis or Amanda Renner, I'm not going to make that mistake again. Wouldn't tell, and it was just it's basically it's going to be no problems tomorrow.
I love
and it was no problems. Like, the guy's got the biggest pair of kahunas hanging from.
What do you think it was?
Something that I think irritated him and let him irritate more. Whether it was slow play, whether it was swing thought, or I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure we'll find out one day.
He looked in control. He seemed to slow things down himself instead of let the group in front of him dictate his play.
Yeah, Ricky Ellett, obviously very calm customer.
Well, who was in front of him at Augusta? It was somebody bad.
Cantlay.
All day Cantlay. And,
dude, I had him on Friday. I watched one of the best rounds I've ever seen in my life on Friday out of him.
Guy's a freaking animal.
So good. I mean, he played with Ricky and Phil, and it looked like they didn't even belong. They didn't even play the same sport. Like, Patrick Cantlay looked like a freaking machine. He didn't make anything and shot 300 before it rained.
He was one of my top 3 picks. Just having Joe LaCarver on the bag, had Matsuyama, and I had Cameron Young. Not very good picks, but I thought Cantlay. He got
screwed with the weather.
He's got a tough major record too. He's only had 2 top 10s, and I was
3.
I was now with LaCarver, whether it be psychosomatic placebo, I thought he was really going to.
So the late earlies got affected.
He'll play well at LACC.
By that frost delay, allowing those guys in the early wave to kind of have a drier course.
Oh, for sure. It was just 2 totally different golf courses once it rained. I mean,
it's wild how that happens.
There's something to firm fairways with dog legs.
It's brutal.
You couldn't just stand up there and pound your one-way driver. It was, you had to shape it. The wind direction mattered a ton. Ball flight mattered a ton on holding fairways. It was a really good test. And then rain, you can't help it. But I mean, it just turns it into.
What were the crowds like with Phil?
They fucking loved him.
Yeah,
dude. So when I got done Thursday, Aaron,
I don't think the crowds care about this.
I rode by the first tee, and they were introducing Phil right when I was driving by. I should have taken a video of this. And I was and I was very interested to see what the reaction was going to be. You know, because it hadn't happened yet this week, and they just went nuts. They loved it.
Like it's a Ryder Cup. I mean, that's our boy Phil.
Oh yeah, right. I mean,
come
on, Phil.
Is the next what's coming up at Bethpage? Something's coming up at Bethpage, right?
Bethpage?
I don't know.
So the next PGA, or maybe the Ryder Cup in 2 years. Something's coming to Bethpage. That place is great.
Yeah, it's fucking
for
hard,
events. Dude. Yes, awesome.
Did you take
that's hard with dog legs. Some dog legs there.
Yeah, that place.
You didn't get to tick that one off.
No, I've ticked it off.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been.
Did you sleep
Great-
for
great
your tee
tick.
time, or did you sleep there the night before?
No, so this is another good one for the fans. So to Bethpage Black, how to get on 7 day. You can't get on 8 days before. 7 days, the New York residents get the tee times.
Mm-hmm.
Non-New York residents get 5 days. So if you go on there, they're gone. Like the New York residents take them all. But someone's like, we got one for like 4 o'clock. This was in August. And then someone's like, hey, what you need to do is the day before, refresh every 5 minutes. Because people pull out. You don't pay your tee time in advance.
Uh-huh.
And you can pull out for free. So I went from 4 o'clock to like 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. And once I knew I could get all 18 holes in, no worries. So that's the thing you do the day before. If you're a non-resident, the residents are all pulling out. So you can get on there.
I might.
But the sleep thing is for the first hour. Now I think it's not a demand. And if you, like, not to sound cocky, but we know enough people in the golf world that you call someone up there and they'll tell you how it's been.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, yeah, I wouldn't come tomorrow. It's going to be like tons. And otherwise, hey, if you turn up at 6 a.m., you're good. They sort of have a good indication of what's coming.
That place is hard. I
Yeah.
played it one year, and
I want to play the
Something.
red next. The red's immediately to the left on the first. They say it's awesome.
What
too.
did they have? Was it a playoff event or
I don't know what it was. It was beat the
U.S.
shit out of it. I think I
Open?
withdrew, actually.
They do have a warning sign, I guess, at the before you tee off. That's
2025 Ryder Cup.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yes, too. He's back. Absolutely.
Hey, what's going to happen with the Ryder Cup with Brooks now?
He's in. So he's second on points, can't lose out. The only way he could be kicked out, and they're not going to do it, man. The PGA of America owns that event. They
Yeah.
don't really have a fight in this battle, and they would want their champion playing.
What about Dusty? Is he in?
Well, he has to get a pick, but if he's playing well,
You got to bring
I
Dusty.
think they'll
If you
pick
got
him.
Brooks, you got to bring Dusty in.
Luke
too.
Donald already said that, there's no thing ruling that he wouldn't pick a European player. I think his brother Christian's going to be part of it. He's
Who's he gonna
caddy for Steely
Who
on
do you
the
think
live.
he'd pick?
I don't no idea, but
Of all the Euros out there.
did you guys see the post interview, the post thing with Chamblee and Brad Faxon?
No.
I haven't seen that.
Nah.
So Brad Faxon, employed by.
I saw Brooks Koepka watching the Panthers game last night.
That's
He
good.
looked very dialed in.
He was on fire.
I think Chamblee was pushing this montage of he keeps the blood money.
Yeah.
And he's now second in points because they haven't ruled, the PGA America hadn't ruled it out, and it's an exchange between Faxon and he's like, well, they're not playing for money at the Ryder Cup. Like, well, what's the deal here? Like, they're playing for their country, and Chamblee's like hadn't thought about it. You can tell, and he's like, they're playing for their country. You don't think they're playing for their tour? And he's like, no, they're playing for their country. There's no money involved. Like,
Yeah.
why should they be excluded here? And Chamblee has nothing. And then Rich Lerner just comes in. There's just like dead air.
Created this little awkward silence.
Again, and people are on the Twitter just like, Chamblee is a knob or whatever. I'm like, I don't think that. I think Chamblee's brilliant. And it's the same people that think Johnny Miller should be off and Nick Faldo. Once he's gone,
Oh, I missed both of those.
I
guys.
think Brandel Chamblee is easily the most important person on the whole Golf Channel staff by a mile. Mm-hmm. Whether you agree with him, you don't. He's thought provoking. He researches. He has reasons for his points, and I think the guy is a very, very important person in the golf industry. Actually, Lisa Cornwall, who we work with a bit, she's written a book, and there's a chapter about
Brandel?
Chamblee.
Really?
Wow.
She's not a fan. Said he's a bully, and whatever. Like I'm not saying I agree with her,
She's
but
not a fan.
but I think the bully part is good for TV. I'm not saying you should bully a woman or anything, but he sort of bullies people on that panel show. And Duval,
What
He does.
Say,
He does.
what'd
Him and
you
Duval
say
got
you-
into
you
it.
hate kids? Is that what you said?
no,
Oh, I'm kidding.
So-
He does bully people from that pulpit, but did he ever do?
I asked him to come on the show, by the way,
Brandel?
from my account. I said, "Come on," because I think I'm not against him. I just want to understand about the whole blood money. Like, have you looked in your 401k?
Yeah.
How many of those companies that are making tons of money and improving your retirement have blood money? Like a ton of them.
Come on,
Pfizer.
Brandel. We'd love to have you.
But no, I just think it would be a great conversation. I think he is my number one guy I want to listen to, and I don't agree with him on tons of things. The rollback stuff, I'm starting to go the other way. I think human body has maxed out. we don't get any further. I think.
What is Brandel's take on the rollback?
He thinks.
We should do it.
No, he's non-rollback.
He's not a rollback.
So I agree with
He's
him.
so good at arguing. He's already convinced you of something he
other
doesn't
side.
believe in.
I was for the bifurcation until I really thought about, like, are we really going to bifurcate for like 1,000 people?
Uh-huh.
So
It's a small percentage that we're
okay, there you
changing
go,
the rules for.
Brandel. You helped me change my opinion.
Did he ever do network like TV coverage during a tournament, or has he just always been on the Golf Channel panel?
I don't know. It's a good question. He's
I
on
wonder
a
why
ton
they
of
haven't-
podcasts. Like, he was on, I think, Colt's podcast early on.
Yeah.
Amazing. Tells a story about college and some guy who was on his college team. I think it was someone somewhat notable about drinking. And dude, Brandel Chamblee is an ace.
Yeah.
He is. People that rag on him.
I've always liked him.
I understand why you rag on him, but the golf will struggle, like especially the panel shows without him.
He does a masterful
I
job
enjoyed,
of just.
Frank Navalo with Brandel when they were in Duval.
But that and
when they
Duval,
had those three.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. We need that every week. We can't. But you want people to disagree. Everyone just sucking each other off.
Yeah, that's what.
Maybe edit that. But
what
you
he
know what I
does
mean? It's
do.
no good. It's no like it's
He
the
creates-
echo chamber.
He creates a way for you to engage with him in a controversial way.
Him and McGinley are pretty
It's
good.
just an
'cause-
opinion that he's throwing out there, but he just the way he delivers it, you want to go attack what he's saying.
But as long as you do it respectfully.
Yeah.
Like, him and McGinley disagree tons, and then they're obviously good buddies off where maybe him and Noblo aren't. I don't know that. But that's where, you know, if you're really trying to get a one-up, you're going to argue a bit stronger and a bit outside the parameters. But if you're friends with someone, you'll be like, yeah, you know, Bill Burr, fair enough, and just walk out of the room. But, you know, I don't know. I don't think he'll ever come on the show, but hopefully he does, because I want to learn like why him and Eamon Lynch are so. I do understand why, but after sort of getting I wouldn't say owned, but Faxon brought up something that he hadn't thought about. He came on and wrote something on Twitter, and then he had to go down about September 11. And look, it did. Like, I'm not saying I'm sitting on one side, but I don't know. Let's talk about it.
Well, there are a lot of guys that you were saying, I miss that guy while you're watching the PGA Championship.
There's like
And-
five.
Like,
There's five.
And I promise I'm not for or against, but all the people are like, oh, well, you know, all these other tours. I'm like, okay, the tour in southwest Cambodia that's starting a tour and wants points, they don't have Phil Mickelson, Koepka, and all that playing on their tour. So, yeah, I actually do think it's different, and the world rankings should actually look at this. And again, I don't think all 48 should get points. I don't care if 10 of them get points. But you can't win an event against an elite, a high-quality field and get no points.
2 of the 4 major champions right now.
2 of the last three.
are live
2 of the
guys.
last 3. And
Wow.
I'm not here one-upping and like, I think the Phil comes in way too hot, and I think you know, some guys on the tour come in way too hot. Just take the not the vow of silence, but I think that the PGA and the US Open want to have the guys playing well on the Live Tour in their events. I think they're nuts if they're trying to exclude them.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Wan.
Yeah, Mike White, like, seemed to, I don't know if it was single-handedly, but if, again, you want to have an avenue for guys having a tear, like Taylor Gooch. I don't know if Taylor Gooch is exempt in the US Open. Sounds like he's not. And he wins this week coming up in DC. Don't you want him in your thing? You should have... Don't worry about the tour versus a live. That's going to take care of itself.
Mm-hmm.
How are you? You look in great shape right now. What are you doing?
Nothing, but I am doing this thing with my mate who's a doctor and Jack, who's Cam's best buddy. We're just keeping each other honest. So I'm doing like 35 push-ups a day, and then this 4-minute ab thing.
Cardio.
35
I
push-ups.
run a little bit, but
Eating better.
I'm not, dude. I'm
Eating better.
I'm eating better. I'm doing the fasting. I've just had a coffee.
What kind
this
of
morning.
what hours?
I eat it. I eat from breakfast till dinner, and that's it.
Like
12 till 6:30.
that's not breakfast. 12.
Sorry, I normally have my breakfast at lunch. I have eggs at lunch.
Okay.
Are you intermittent fasting? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, some days.
AKA skipping breakfast.
Yeah, look, I'm just trying not to be disgusting. I'm not
I
trying
gotta
to be
do
fit.
something.
I'm trying to not be disgusting. That's
I'm
it.
like.
We should do some sort of a challenge here.
jelly donut.
I
away
need
from
challenges.
I need
That's all I
Type 2
need.
diabetes.
a group challenge. Let's see if we can get shredded.
What you did last week at the PGA is so hard. But this thing will do. You jump out of bed, you brush your teeth, you do 35 push-ups, and you do this 4-minute abs thing, which is on YouTube.
How long are those
like
days,
a Tabata
Matty?
abs.
Long.
That's got to be a long ass day.
They're long days. Yeah. But it is nice not having to like stretch before you go out and
Get ready,
shit
just
like that.
show up with a smile and let's
Yeah.
go
I
golfing.
saw a few people, like a couple of sports psychologists I've worked with through the years. I saw them out there, and they're like, "You look so happy." I'm like, "Oh, thanks."
Yeah, because like golf in general, when you're not playing well, and then you add Oak Hill, it'll freaking hurt your feelings.
Oh yeah.
Like, not being a
just kick the,
twat
you're
here,
just
but-
getting your dick stomped on 4 days in a row.
You miss have 2 bogeys where you got to chip out, right? And then you make what seems like an okay bogey. And then the next hole you hit, it's like 30 feet and you 3-putt. Like, you feel like
Those are
you
the
almost
things,
want to cry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are the things, like doing this, I pay attention to. Like JT Poston had one of those rounds where he did nothing wrong. And then all of a sudden, he just slips up a fucking hair. And it's like, boom. Bogey.
There is a lot of
It's
luck
like,
involved, though.
Man, like the psychology throughout golf rounds is just, it's nuts to me.
Yeah, you can see how it
Momentum.
changes on their faces.
Yeah.
Like, people say that, golf is what I do, not who I am. Like, I love that so much. I used to
That's
try
horseshit.
and live by that mantra, but it is.
I'm
It's
defined by
like-
my golf
No,
game.
you're not.
No, you're
No,
not.
you
but-
kind of
but-
are
but
defined by
it-
a little bit.
It's
Yeah.
in the back part of your brain how you feel about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nothing in your life could change, and it's not even like, it's like subconscious almost. It's just you're in a better mood, and not that you're kicking the cat, but depending on if you like the cat or not. But yeah, it's golf is, I don't know, individual
kitty.
individual sports are just, they're tough. I don't know, and golf's like a non-reactionary individual sport. It's not like tennis where it's all like in the heat of the moment.
Look
you're
and
reacting.
react. Look and
You
think.
got so much time to think between. It's like baseball pitches.
I think it 100%. Anytime I see that, that's like anytime somebody says that, that's the equivalent to someone saying, "I don't care what other people think about me." It's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you
Normally the
shouldn't,
people saying
but
that
like you
are
shouldn't,
projecting.
but you definitely do.
Your best days are when you do think that way, though.
Well, of course,
Right?
But the people that are going out there openly saying that, they're
That's what I'm
normally
saying.
projecting.
Or like-
they're normally the people that do care.
Maybe we might have to edit this. Yeah, like my mom.
No edits this week.
Hey, Ma.
We
Penny.
won't
Sorry,
get it.
Mom.
Never mind.
Oh,
We love
man, I
Penny.
thought like where we were going. Did you try a garbage plate while you were up there?
No, what
Did you
was
see that?
People
I-
kept talking about it.
All I can remember in my head was seeing macaroni and cheese, like hash browns,
Oh, on.
a hamburger,
Come on.
eggs,
I wish I did.
gravy,
Jesus.
more cheese, and a fork and knife. I think.
that's a hard. Speaking of, like,
Take a
being
deep
fit,
breath just thinking about eating that.
Were you able to hear Wright Thompson speaking over your headset when
That
they
guy,
would go to
yes.
he's the new man.
the
by way.
best,
Really?
the best at
Man,
narrating?
He does
shit.
the Augusta stuff.
Uh-huh.
Where's that guy fucking been?
He's
Who is he?
He's like Oxford, Mississippi.
He's a journalist, right?
Yeah, he's a sports journalist, and
He's like a written journalist, isn't he?
he does long form.
He did the thing at Augusta, and I was like, man, this is like Tom Selleck versus, I don't know.
Keep going.
I don't
You
know.
got me at Tom.
David Attenborough. I don't know. It was great.
But the way he
I'd
described,
never heard of that guy before Augusta. Now, I'm sometimes living
Uh-huh.
under a rock with
Yeah.
golf shit, but
He's done a lot of college football prosing. I mean, he's
do
a
you want to come on the
brilliant writer.
podcast, Mr. Thompson? We'll get you
Yeah,
on.
come on. It's a cool last name too.
I just want to listen to the dude's voice. It's fucking
I mean,
awesome.
he can describe the Kentucky Derby,
is
baseball
he-
in the South.
What
He's done all
about
that?
describing some
Yeah.
LFG apparel? Come on.
Ooh, come on. I mean, not only is he a good writer,
I
but
know
he's
he is
the
now.
voice.
I've seen him
It's
on
the voice that he's got.
Yeah, I've seen him on like
Amazing.
ESPN and stuff. Probably.
Yeah, he's done some 30
College
for
football.
He did a 30 for 30.
Speaking of 30 for 30, I was talking to Toole and Grant about this.
Mm-hmm.
Block's going to have one.
American Gladiators 30 for 30 coming out.
Ooh.
Were you around for that?
It's in
The Gladiators,
it's
like where
coming.
the guys from home would like wrestle them and shit.
Yes. But
Yeah,
like,
we had one in Australia. Yeah.
really? God, what a
Gladiator, ready.
yes.
Who were your favorite gladiators?
Challenger.
Blaze.
Blaze.
Ready.
Yeah.
Big Nitro.
No, we
fan.
had-
Oh
Vulcan.
yes, Nitro.
We had an ex guy from my footy club, my pro one, Mark McGaw. Yeah, we had Vulcan, big black American dude, was an animal. Had the strong chicks. Sort of down for the strong chicks, by the way.
Really? You like getting thrown around?
No, but I just appreciate athleticism. I'll just leave it right there.
Appreciate the athleticism.
Dude, I loved American Gladiator. That was, I mean,
Yeah, it was
did
great.
you
Yeah,
not
crushed
recreate
it.
those sports in your, own house? Like that?
The balance
Gaunt-
beam one with the
gauntlet?
The jousting?
Yeah, the jousting, the gauntlet.
Yeah, yeah.
What was the other one? The one where they shoot the gun at you and you got to run up and hit the.
You can throw a tennis ball back at them or something.
We didn't have that one in
Hit the
Australia
bullseye.
because shooting a gun was probably like around that time. Was just right after we banned him, so maybe we didn't do that.
I like they had like football/basketball with a garbage can out in the middle,
Yeah.
and you ran with
yeah.
the ball, try and
I
juke
remember that.
them, and then slam it into the.
It was like dodgeball versus.
Well, we kind of have it now, but it's that. What is it called? It's on like
Come on,
Family
Toole,
Night.
get in here.
What is
You're
it
like
called?
the smartest guy in the room.
I don't
I'm like
know.
the smartest.
You're smarter than us.
That's
Get
why
in
he's
here.
staying quiet because he's the smartest in the room.
Okay, touche.
All right, hold on. No, what's the one now? Fuck. Who commentates it?
Family Game Night.
It's like at the end they run up this wall
Okay.
to try and do it.
Oh, American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, it's kind of
Oh,
the
yeah.
same
My
thing,
kids love that shit.
but not really. Like American Gladiator was way sicker than American Ninja Warrior.
Maybe it's
Heck
that 20-year hiatus. Let's bring it back.
Yeah,
They
it
bring
could
it
work. But
Get some
anyways,
celebrities in there,
I think
like
it's gonna
Logan
be
Paul or something. I
it's
don't
gonna be
know.
a great 30 for 30.
Yeah. There's got to be all kinds of scandal,
Oh, yeah,
drugs,
there was.
steroids,
Steroids.
sex.
Speaking of that, a guy gave me one.
Some drugs?
A client of mine who's in town.
Gave him some
Great
steroids.
man, the great Jimmy Ellis is a Pennsylvania Mid-Am legend.
Oh,
Ooh.
He gave me this Lightning Lee Murray. Have you heard that story?
no.
The guy's like a MMA championship, but got caught up in like this $90 million like heist.
What?
Already had tons of money. I don't know much about it, but there's a I think it's on Netflix, a 4-series documentary about this guy Lee Murray, and Jimmy's like, yeah, gotta watch this thing. The guy had plenty of money, fame, and then just wanted to go and like rob things.
Really?
Yeah,
Somebody got bored.
I don't know.
Sounds
but it's
like-
interesting.
I've done it all. Let's go rob a liquor store, babe.
Maybe that's why Hollywood's struggling with movies, because there's so much good content of documentaries and TV shows out there.
It's a ton of weirdos, dude.
Any good movies lately?
Ooh.
Let's see.
I watched that one with Tom Hanks, so that one was pretty good. It's a bit
What's it,
depressing.
Otto?
Otto, yeah, it was
I hadn't
alright.
seen it. I did. I watched 80 for Brady last night with the kids.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Was it?
It's
I haven't
freaking.
seen that one.
I mean, I'm like, why am I watching
Tom
this?
Brady
You
and
got
the old
Sally
ladies?
Field and yeah.
Was Tom
the-
Brady in the movie?
He was, and he was in there like
Gronk's in there. I saw Gronk in the
Like
shorts.
there's I don't think Gronk even played in that Super Bowl. It was the Atlanta, choke job.
28-3.
28-3.
Yeah, like it made me wonder like how many movie crews are following certain sport teams around to
Future
go
content.
through their World Series and be like, hey, we had these actors that were kind of saw this as a cool story. I think they did that with Fever Pitch with when the Sox won it.
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
those two run out on the field and they're celebrating.
There's
like,
a documentary with Eddie Vedder.
What are they
I
doing
think
there?
I've seen it, and the Cubs winning, like there was filming the whole thing, and they
Yeah.
ended up winning. So that's
Everybody films everything right now. These guys on tour right
Content,
now all
Matt.
have a guy
Matt.
following them
it's
filming.
content.
All the big guys.
what about
I tell you who was first to market right here, 2005, Ryan Moore and Spence Levine, one of our greats here
Yeah.
at LFG, and myself were the final three for the Hogan Award. Not talking about myself here. But Ryan had a crew, and I'm not hanging shit here, but had a crew following him around the whole time. We were getting our tuxedos done, and he had a guy, and they were going to... Look, the guy was on track to be the next Tiger, so
Mhm.
they were going to sell it, and so Ryan Moore was before all you YouTube...
That award was just
people.
given out last night.
saw that.
Did you win?
Did I win? No, I was probably third.
Third.
Spencer was second. Spencer and I knew he weren't winning, so we had a good time.
What year was this?
05. Ryan knew he was going to win, so he was getting ready for his speech, and Jim Nance hosted the thing. It was incredible. It was the Sunday before Colonial. That's when it always is.
Matty got himself a.
Matty's
I
a
won
winner.
it the next year.
We'll call it the Heisman of college
We got two
golf.
two finalists here.
That's right.
That's
Two
sick.
finals.
That's sick.
That is kind of sick.
I got a.
There's a good list of names on that.
It wasn't
trophy.
bad coming from Georgia
Uh-huh.
Southern. Not the, but we weren't playing the biggest
The
schedules.
Ludwig guy just won it for the second time. Him and Rom are the only
Back
two.
to
Tron,
back.
Tron Tron loves that guy.
Tron's coming on next week, by the way, for our listeners.
TC.
Hell
From
yeah.
Building Up.
Can't wait to learn more about that.
I think
guy.
TC's a little bit like Brandel Chamblee in the sense that has strong opinions,
I
but
think
is really good. Like, I disagree with Tron tons.
I also
it's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's a little. I think
Different
I think
resume.
Trons are more like to poke the bear sometimes.
They're hot takes.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
like Brandel's. They're hot takes, but they're not.
There's some things that a
unremarkable.
guy that didn't play can come on and say that a guy that did play. I mean,
That's
it's
what we'll talk to Tron
We
about.
also though, what is Brandel's? What resume?
yeah. I
How
mean,
many years
come
was he
on.
on tour?
I don't know, tons.
No,
yeah,
I know. I
think
know.
It was
8, 10.
He was good enough to get a job. At,
He led the Masters
Golf
one year,
Channel.
and someone said going retroactively something about strokes gained. He still has the highest strokes gained for a single round.
Wow.
It just he sort of reposted it.
uh-huh.
So that year he led that first round. I don't know.
That's pretty sick.
I don't know how they retroact.
Yeah, how can they do
Retroactively
that?
go
Did
back
they
and
have
do
shot
old
link back
stats?
then?
Fuck, I've got no idea. And it could be bullshit. I could have been fooled easily.
That sounds like complete horseshit.
I want to get back to
Probably.
the content and people following guys around. Like, it started off cringe and now it's become
Everyone has
a lot
their
more
own
acceptable. Like,
Well,
is
they
it-
all, most of the bigger guys, I think, they have their own social media guy. They're not doing their own stuff, and they have guys
hardly any of them do it.
following them around with like high tech cameras and shit.
Adam has it.
You know, I saw it with Adam when I followed them in the practice round, but tons of guys are doing it. I know Stallings is doing it.
But clearly
what are
the-
they doing with the content though? Because
Oh,
I'm not really.
sponsors.
Are they,
Sponsors.
Like,
Putting it
I'm
out.
sure they're
Okay.
all geared towards.
Bumping
They're not
their
doing it for
tires.
no reason. I'm telling you, especially Adam doesn't care about an ego or anything. So his team would have it where it's if whatever they're spending, they're making more.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're not silly people back there.
No. Well, it's like I said, started off kind of cringy, and now you're a lot more used to a guy pulling his phone out and filming another guy, on the range. And I mean, that's the content that the user wants to see. I think is the
Yeah.
behind the scenes look. So we got these things in our hands that we can provide that access instantly. I
What
mean,
about LACC? Have you played it? Sorry,
No.
pivoting.
You?
No, it's good.
No, I was supposed to play the Monday of every
Oh
year.
yeah, that's right. Kirk thing.
Yeah, I'm not blaming Kirk because I still had the invitation. It wasn't dependent on him. I still could have gone. I just pivoted and came home.
Are you going to caddy any this summer?
I don't think so.
No.
I think Chromie is on full time.
Yeah, he's been out there a while for him.
What about
for
you,
him.
Matty? You got any? You gonna get in anywhere?
Yeah, I'll caddy for someone if they want me.
No, when are you
I
playing?
got plenty of weeks off.
Isn't the Kentucky thing coming up? No, it's in.
Can't afford
Is
them.
it in Alabama?
No, I am doing Memorial and Canada.
What about
for
playing?
TV? Playing, if I'm going to get in a tournament, it would be probably Lexington or John Deere I might get in as well. 'cause
What
they're
about California?
going deep.
The old Reno.
I don't know if I'll get in that. I would love to, though. That's actually my favorite event of the year. I mean, I've been getting in it like for the
Yeah.
last few years, but it's just such a nice, like
Yeah,
Truckee in the summer. It's a
Mhm.
nice break.
Is
from-
John Deere in trouble? As a tournament.
I just well,
They'll work it
it's-
out.
It's a late, yeah, they'll work it out. It's the
the longest running, isn't
It's a deep. It's a big numbered. It's like 154 or 156. So it's a big
56,
field, and it's in a it's late in the year, and it's not an elevated event. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually working that one.
you are.
For ESPN Plus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you're calling me.
Oh, well, that'd be some easy
Be the new-
stuff to talk
The
about.
new Michael Block.
That could be my breakout party for my commentary.
It is. I will say this too. It's definitely easier to do commentating when your group's playing well.
Oh
It's night and day. When you got a group stuck in neutral, it is fucking.
You can feel that mood, I'm sure.
Which is hard to get excited about a shot going
Yeah.
into the shit.
Yeah.
And like, oh,
Yeah. What do I say here? That was.
hey, you can't be too critical. Leave that for the people who do it every week. The Azingers, which again, Azinger's another guy. Awesome. Critical. You got to have that guy. You can't all be fluff.
It's not easy either, dude. Doing it like those guys. There's a lot of time to fill air. A lot of times you just open your mouth and hope something good comes out.
Well, I got a tea time. I got to run.
Look at this
All
fucking
right.
guy.
Well.
He plays more golf than all of us combined.
Indeed.
I have a client in town.
Oh,
I don't care to play that much golf.
Is
I
this
do.
is company golf, client golf?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the
Do you have a
best.
tagline yet for your?
Nah.
No?
Just buy, sell, refer, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I can't think of a good tagline off the top of my
can't
head for
either.
Pricey.
All right, maybe next episode we'll have a tagline. You guys can do my marketing. Thank you.
Okay.
All
right,
right, that's
guys.
fun. Thanks for sitting in and
Cheers.
Googling for us, Toole.
All right.
You're coming on again. You
Back
can
to
get
work.
More into it.
All
All
right.
right, cheers.
See-